La administración de Donald Trump está en pánico total. Nunca antes esta Casa Blanca había estado tan plagada de escándalos, tantos errores garrafales. Lo peor de todo esto es que Trump ya no puede ni responder a ninguno de los escándalos con alguna frase coherente. Y es porque su deterioro cognitivo ya no es un secreto. Y es precisamente por eso que vemos a Caroline Leavitt y el resto de sus secuaces en un absoluto estado de pánico. Hay varias razones por las cuales es evidente este declive cognitivo de Trump, el cual finalmente está siendo difundido por medios tradicionales, pero una de las principales razones es su relación con Jeffrey Epstein. Así que antes de mostrarles el clip que humilla a Trump y hace entrar en pánico a Leavitt, vamos a empezar con parte del intento de esta administración para encubrir todo esto. En febrero se publicó un conjunto de documentos relacionados que Pam Bondi había promocionado de forma similar, pero que fracasó, y fue un objeto de burla, porque mucha de esa información ya estaba en el dominio público, ¿no? Muchos esperaban lo que Pam Bondi llamó la fase 2 de esta publicación de los archivos de Epstein, pero los nuevos memorandos pretendían acabar con estas expectativas. Es más, hasta incluyeron un video como de 1 hora, cuya existencia ya se había revelado. Es un video del pasillo fuera de la celda de Epstein. Sin embargo, pues el video que publicaron Pam Bondi y Kash Patel parece tener como que 1 minuto desaparecido, y es justo antes de la medianoche. El reloj digital en pantalla salta de las 11:58 p.m. a las 12. En su momento, cuando se publicó todo esto, las autoridades no pudieron responder, ¿no?, de inmediato con algún tipo de explicación sobre este hueco. Así que, pues, el encubrimiento que está ocurriendo en toda la Casa Blanca, ¿no?, es parte de este escándalo de Epstein, de la cual Trump, que estuvo, por cierto, tuiteando y gritando todo el día de ayer, no ha dicho ni una sola palabra, salvo, ¿no?, para respaldar a Kash Patel en su trabajo en el FBI. No dijo nada bueno de Pam Bondi y bueno, eso comenzó a generar ciertas preguntas. Pero hay una duda mucho más grande, señores, y es si Trump realmente puede responder a alguna crisis, porque al menos mientras la tragedia en Texas sigue aumentando el número de muertos, ¿qué es lo que hizo? Sacó un comunicado preparado que él no escribió. Y supongo, ¿no?, culpó a los demócratas. Y eso, por ejemplo, es justo lo que vimos de Caroline Leavitt, que explica por qué Trump está mostrando este declive cognitivo. Veamos esto.
On cuts overall, over the weekend, President Trump said that Elon Musk was a train wreck. Are there, given this current viewpoint, are there concerns within the White House or from the president himself over the cuts that happened under Musk while he was advising DOGE, including the National Weather Service?
I think I've already addressed that, Kristen, and what I can tell you is that these offices were fully staffed. The San Angelo office was fully staffed with 12 forecast meteorologists. There were no vacancies. The San Antonio office was operating with 11 forecasters. And as Brian said, the union themselves said that there was adequate staffing. So I think those words speak for themselves and the numbers speak for themselves. This was a once-in-a-century flash flood, a tragic natural disaster, and the administration is doing all that we can on the ground to help these families during this time of need.
En esta administración siempre hay alguien a quien culpar. Lo cual es irónico, ¿no? Porque Caroline Leavitt ni siquiera intenta culpar a Elon Musk, aunque debería saber que Trump será el responsable si Musk metió la pata en Dodge. Pero bueno, culpar a Elon de estar fuera de control o de ser un loco no refleja bien para Trump, porque todo el mundo va a comenzar a cuestionarse cómo pudo darle tanto poder en el gobierno federal. Y eso es justamente lo que explicó Lawrence O'Donnell cuando profundizó en cómo es que Trump no solo está fuera de control, sino que nunca estuvo en control, mostrando lo grave de este declive cognitivo, no solo por esta tragedia en Texas, señores, sino que también la caída en sus planes arancelarios con esta guerra comercial, el escándalo de Epstein y todo el tema del tercer partido político con Elon Musk. Veamos lo que dijo.
Donald Trump doesn't have to apologize to his followers for letting someone who is completely off the rails take over so much of the government that those people voted for Donald Trump to run. But Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing. That's why he let Elon Musk do what he did in government. And now Donald Trump is saying on social media, I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. This is the same guy, Donald Trump, who used federal property to try to sell Elon Musk's cars and pump up the Tesla stock price. This is the same Donald Trump who turned the White House driveway into a Tesla dealership for a day and gave Elon Musk the biggest TV commercial ever recorded on federal property. In fact, it's the only one because it's illegal to record TV commercials on federal property. Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing. That's why he did that. That's why he does everything he does. He does not know what he's doing. Donald Trump may be finally right about something when he says Elon Musk is off the rails, but neutral Musk observers have been saying exactly that for years, long before Elon Musk decided to become the biggest political contributor in history and give every dollar necessary to win a presidential election for Donald Trump. Elon Musk is no more off the rails today than he was a year ago or the year before that. And if Elon Musk is off the rails, how far from the rails is Donald Trump? Are the rails even in sight from wherever Donald Trump's mind is tonight? Donald Trump absolutely does not know what he's doing about tariffs. And we now have what Politico calls a person close to the White House, familiar with the trade talks and granted anonymity to discuss sensitive negotiations, saying Trump knows the most interesting part of his presidency is the tariff conversation. I find it hard to believe he's going to surrender it that easily. It's all fake. There's no deadline. It's a self-imposed landmark in this theatrical show, and that's where we are. The Trump tariffs theater continued today. Donald Trump sending letters first to Japan and South Korea about tariffs, then to about a dozen other countries who are tiny participants in world trade. And they were the first form letters ever sent by a president of the United States to the heads of government in other countries. They all got the exact same letter with just the name of their country inserted. And most of them got exactly the same tariff numbers in their letters. Each qualifies as the stupidest letter ever received from the President of the United States by the head of state of any other country. The one to Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is identical to the one to Japan, which is identical to the Trump letter to Kazakhstan, which is identical to the Trump letter to Malaysia, et cetera, et cetera. The letter says, quote, we invite you to participate in the extraordinary economy of the United States, the #1 market in the world by far. No head of state has ever read a more childish sentence in a letter from the President of the United States. The letter says, we will charge Japan or South Korea or another country a tariff of only 25% on any and all products sent into the United States. And that is a lie. And everyone receiving that letter knows it's a lie. Japan will be charged absolutely nothing. Nothing. Every penny of tariffs on Japanese products, every penny brought into the United States will be paid inside the United States by the people in America who buy that product and bring that product into the country. This is something the entire world knows. And every country receiving this letter today knew that they were looking at a level of economic illiteracy in that letter that they could never get away with in their own countries. It would be impossible for the president of any other country to say that they are charging the United States of America or any other country anything. Their voters would all know they were lying, because no country anywhere in the world has the legal authority to tax any other country, and no country has ever done it. Tariffs are paid entirely by the country that imposes the tariffs. That is something that Donald Trump has been lying about for his entire political career, and the White House press corps relentlessly proves its inability to understand what a tariff actually is. Wall Street continues to bet that Trump always chickens out. We've never had a presidency like this. We've never had a presidency promising and repromising and repromising and repromising the very same thing that the president then doesn't do within a matter of weeks or months of that promise that gets repromised and gets repromised again. And all of that is because Donald Trump does not know what he's doing. Or as Politico's unnamed source close to the Trump team says, it's all fake. There's no deadline. It's a self-imposed landmark in this theatrical show, and that's where we are. You could say that Donald Trump is off the rails, but I ask, what rails? When did the spoiled brat from Queens ever have any rails at all? Donald Trump cannot be compared to a derailed train because a train has direction and purpose until it is derailed. Donald Trump has never had that. What you're seeing is a president of the United States who does not know what he's doing. And the price we all pay for that gets worse by the day.
Y es que, ¿cómo se supone que tenemos que confiar en el gobierno si Trump designa a los peores incompetentes para destrozarlo? Y mientras lo hace, malgasta recursos en sus proyectos de gloria personal y en shows de relaciones públicas. Ahora mismo hay miembros de la Guardia Nacional en Los Ángeles, mientras en Texas los funcionarios republicanos están pidiendo recursos. Piden que se gaste más en sistemas de alarma para poder alertar sobre inundaciones repentinas. Pero Trump hizo que los agentes de ICE sean el séptimo ejército más grande del mundo. Así es, amigos. Así es como ahorramos y cortamos gastos, mientras Stephen Miller grita en televisión.
Ask yourself this: why is it that Democrats are so insistent that unlimited numbers of illegals from countries that are incapable of managing their own affairs come here? Countries like Somalia, countries like Haiti, countries that have no history of successful self-government, and they want unlimited numbers of illegals from those countries and refugees from those countries to come here with no chance at the pace, the scale, the scope of arrivals at being able to assimilate and integrate into the American way of life. What has it done to our schools? What has it done to our hospitals? What has it done to just traffic in our cities? Every issue that affects our quality of life, Jesse, public safety, drugs, crime, education, healthcare.
Y es que ya cansa siempre tener que señalar lo que Trump intenta hacer. Y es una distracción. Pero bueno, prefiero señalar su estupidez, ¿no?, que darle crédito como un genio del ajedrez político. Pero bueno, señores, claramente, una vez más, como siempre, esto es una distracción. O menos, ¿no? Es un intento de acostumbrarnos a la idea de un estado policial militarizado al estilo trumpista, lo cual ya está pasando en Los Ángeles. Algo aterrador y que tiene que ser denunciado. Muchísimas gracias por acompañarme hasta el final de este video. Recuerda, como siempre, darle like, comenta nuestro video, compártelo con tus amigos y suscríbete a nuestro canal Políticamente Desacuerdo. Nos vemos en el próximo video. Hasta luego.